welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about YouTube. It's the YouTube crash course. And I say it's scary like that because we are nearing Halloween and YouTube is oftentimes scary. But we don't want to make it so it's no longer scary for you guys. We want to make it so you're like, oh, I can do that. We've laid it all out, some simple stuff. So Mo, if you want to go ahead and get the presentation going up. If you guys have questions tonight, for anything that we're talking about, I'm going to be watching the chat box over on the left. So we'll do our best to answer as we're going through the presentation. But just feel free to put them there. We'll answer you as we can get to them. And there's also, you guys are like really awesome at helping each other too. The last time we did this, like everybody was really helpful. It was really cool. So tonight we are talking YouTube, and we have, you know, like a car, because it's like the crash course. Yes, there it is. Wait, there's kind of a delay. There it is. It fell down in crash course. So I'm Crystal Collins, and
I'm Monique Johnson.
And tonight we're going to be talking about YouTube.
Yes, and you know, because of our October challenge and everything about pumpkins, of course, and it's October and Halloween and fall, we decided to go with this whole pumpkin theme spiel, right?
Yes, because of course we are announcing the pumpkin challenge winner at the end. So, you know, pumpkins throughout the presentation.
Nice.
Yes, maybe we should have like some kind of like rule, like every time you see a pumpkin, you gotta say something or drink your water or something.
Say something. They can't say anything.
They can in the chat box. Yeah, they can say something.
Or
the person who counted the right number of pumpkins that were in our presentation tonight wins something. That would be funny.
Oh, wow. Good luck.
I know. There's like 500 right there. Never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah. Okay.
And my hair counts as a pumpkin, so. Kristen says YouTube drinking game. That should make a fun video. Yes.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Okay, next.
Okay. So, first off, we want to start with an easy tip for you guys, and this is, you know, something we're going to start out, like, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the end of the presentation, just remember this one thing. Schedule time to make your videos. Schedule time, put it on the calendar so that you can go ahead and do it, because a lot of times we're like, oh, I don't have time to do videos. Well, if you put it on the calendar, you schedule it out, you're going to start making them. So that's our easy button tip for the entire presentation tonight.
And next, we just wanted to share with you the easiest way to just do that is to honestly just put it on your calendar. We know that we live by our calendars, especially those of you who are entrepreneurs and business owners and bloggers and all that good stuff. And the fact that, you know, if you have it on your calendar, you're more likely to get it done. So hence we kind of just have this graphic, like if you have, say, for instance, here, Thursday, August 16th, schedule out time, allot time to create your videos, and it'll get done. Otherwise, if it's not put on your calendar, more likely it's not going to get done.
So how many of you guys have a YouTube channel set up already? Just go ahead and say here or I in the chat box and something, just, you know, say yo, I don't know. How many of you have a YouTube channel? Yes. Yes. Laura says I do. Kristen, yes. Marge, everybody's got, yes. Good. Those of you, if you do not have a YouTube channel, we're also going to cover how to kind of set it up. And a lot of people who do have one don't have it set up. So tonight we are going to cover, number 1, creating your videos. The whole process of creating them. We've done a lot of this before in the past, so we're not going to get too much into it, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. Number 2, we're going to talk about setting up your account. How to set it up so that you are optimizing it so it has the best potential to get you exposure online. Number 3, we're talking about uploading and publishing, the entire process for doing that, how you should do it. There is a certain method that you should use for uploading and publishing. And number 4, we are going to cover what to do after you hit publish. So doesn't just stop at hitting that publish button. There's more that you have to do there. So that is what we are going to cover tonight.
And of course, if you have any questions, be sure to hit us up either in the chat box on this presentation or in the webinar, or hit us up on Twitter using our Twitter handles Crystal E. Collins or Monique O. Johnson, and be sure to use the hashtag DIY Mobile Vid. And yeah, be sure to just let the questions slide. We will answer them to the best of our ability. And if there's some that we're not able to answer right away, we'll be sure to address them at the end of the webinar.
And yeah, this graphic was chosen because, in case you got questions to vomit at us, just, feel free to vomit them at us like a pumpkin would. Anyway, so who are we? We are from the YouTube show Mokris TV, and then we also have our separate businesses. We both do video production, and we also have blogs. We're bloggers. I've been blogging since 2008. I have a natural health and wellness blog, and then I also do video work, and we have our show together. And Monique also does video production at MO Media, and she's also a video coach as well.
So next we're going to tackle some stats to really just paint the picture for you in regards to creating videos. For those of you who are once again kind of on the fence about using video, or why should I be using video, and still just, we really want to make sure that we get the reasons or the major reasons that you guys should really start investing your time as part of your content marketing strategy. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and Google owns YouTube. So what that means is the fact that Google owns YouTube, Google favors YouTube videos. So when people are searching for certain terms and a video, especially a YouTube video, is created, that will be the first thing to pop up, especially if it's optimized properly. And so it is really, really important for you to understand this. And the fact that because people are now going to YouTube to search for things directly, if you're not on YouTube, you will not be found. It's plain and simple. So the fact that YouTube is the second largest engine and Google owns YouTube, those are two very key factors that are very important that you guys should keep in mind in regards to whether you should start using video and, of course, using YouTube as your platform. The average visitor spends about 48 seconds on a website versus the average visitor spends 5 minutes and 50 seconds on a website that has video. So that's a very, very huge gap and a huge leap between 48 seconds, which is like a blink of an eye, kind of, sort of, but not really, to 5 minutes and 50 seconds, especially with a website that has video. If that doesn't convince you, let alone, then I don't know what else to say. Consumers are more likely to select a video result in a Google search compared to text. So, I've kind of already covered the fact that Google owns YouTube. But yes, consumers, like when you look, actually leave in the chat box right now. If you look up something and you see a video, what are you more likely to click on? Are you more likely to click on that video, or you click on whatever text or whatever articles appear below? Raise your hand, or submit in the chat box whether you're more likely to select a video if you were giving a choice versus a written article to learn about something.
Someone says depends on what they're searching for. Another person says video. It does depend on what you're searching for. I guess if I'm looking for a specific recipe, like I want to be able to print it out. But other times for me, it's definitely like I'm more likely to click on the video. And then other people also said it depends on if I can have audio where I'm at, which is true.
All right. And the very last statistic is, since 2009, video traffic from mobile devices has increased to 5,000%. So more and more people are using their mobile devices, and more importantly, using them to view video content. I mean, look at this. Like every year, every so often, we anticipate what? We anticipate Apple releasing some new version, and then we're anticipating, since Samsung has like the lead ringer for Android devices, they're about to release their Galaxy S6, I believe. And iPhone just released their 6 and their 6 Plus. And they just released, I think, their Apple iPad Air and all that good stuff, right? So the fact there's a high demand of mobile devices, using very unique mobile devices, and a lot of people are not using their computer as much. I mean, people are on the go, people have so many things to do, so they're bringing these mobile devices everywhere. So as a result, they're looking at things, they're looking at your content, they're more importantly viewing videos on their mobile devices.
Okay, so this is you guys are coming into this, and especially if you haven't really started using YouTube a lot, or you're just getting started with video, you're just like, I don't know where or what to start with. And then you're like, well, how do I set up my channel? And then, will anyone watch my videos? And lastly, what do I do to video once I've uploaded it? So these are a couple of questions you're probably thinking. I know when I first got started, I was really overwhelmed thinking about all these things. Like, how do I get started? What do? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to set it up. I don't even, and this is just getting past the whole filming, which you guys are totally getting past now that we've launched DIY mobile video, which is awesome. So now the next step, logically, okay, what do we need to do on YouTube? What's the next step? How do I set all this up? So this is where you guys are at now, and hopefully by the end of this, we're going to have you at a place where you're a lot more comfortable and you know what you're doing and you know what the next steps are.
So first off, we're going to talk about the simple video production process. Like Crystal stated before, we're just going to briefly touch upon making a video and what it entails. But like I said before, this is all about YouTube, but we just wanted to just cover the general steps. So when creating videos, it's all about starting off with planning. You don't want to just, set up a camera, just press the record button. You actually want to plan out and really figure out what it is that you want to do. And that's also called pre-production. Then you want to actually do productions. That's you actually shooting the camera. That's where you're like set up. You have your little studio. If you're outside, you're facing the camera, you're facing your mobile device or whatever it is that you're using. Then the next part, which will be the longest part, and that's post-production, aka editing. So that's when you're taking all the different things that you took, all the the bloopers, all those things that you don't want, and you have to put them all together, add some little graphics, add some little branding components that we covered in our last webinar. So for those of you who have not attended, this is your first time attending a webinar, be sure to head on over to DIYmobilevideo.com and subscribe so you can get access to our first webinar, which was all about the video production process and of course using mobile video. And then lastly is distribution and sharing it, because as stated before, you don't want to just publish your YouTube video and think it's done. Like there's actually work and a lot of strategy that can be used in regards to actually sharing it out to the world so that people can love you and share it, and so that you can really build yourself as an authority within your niche.
Okay, so first thing that you need to do is to plan. And for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to be planning for the purpose of YouTube. We're specifically planning, okay, what is the end that we need to have in mind for our videos? What is the goal? Where are we going? Do you want to collect emails? Is that your goal? Is it important for you to collect emails? Are you trying to sell a product? Are you trying to get more subscribers? Whatever these goals are for your business and for your videos, they all want you want them to make sales. You want to increase your revenue. If you're a blogger, you want to increase your affiliate revenue. You want to get more sponsored campaigns. You want to make more money. So having all of these things in mind when you're making your plan is very important. It's going to help you plan out your YouTube videos very purposefully.
And just to top that off, hopefully you guys had the opportunity to look at the PDF kind of workbook that was sent out last night. This will help you really plan not only your videos, but your YouTube channel, the strategy primarily. So be sure to go through that workbook, because that can really help you out with the planning process.
And then have valuable video content is ultimately everyone's goal. I know we want to make money. I know we want to increase subscribers, but we also want to provide value for our readers. We want to provide value for those that follow us. We don't want to just be putting whatever out there so we can make more money. Some people do that, but I know like the majority of us, we really genuinely want to help others. So that is providing valuable video content. And honestly, those are the best types of videos, and those are the ones that tend to go viral and tend to be popular. So having valuable video content should be your ultimate goal and should guide you as you're making your plan.
So next is shooting. And when you're shooting your videos, you want to make sure that you have an introduction where you're introducing yourself and introducing where you're shooting from, as far as like if it's for your website, saying, hey, it's Monique Johnson from bothsidesofthecamera.com, something of that sort. So when you're shooting, you want to have your introduction. You want to actually plan out and actually have your content that you're going to do. So that's going to be the major bulk of when you're shooting your video. And then lastly, you definitely want to have a call to action. You want to have a specific action. You don't want to ask people too many things. Like if you could have like 1 to 2 things, fabulous. So for instance, we mentioned in the previous slide You know, what are your goals? Are you trying to make sales? Are you trying to get more subscribers on YouTube? Or are you trying to build an email list? If those are the things that you're trying to do, let's just pick email lists. Be sure to say literally in the video, hey, head on over to such and subscribe to my email list, or have an annotation or a link appear on the screen so that person can go there directly. And of course, be sure to have that in the description box, but you know, we'll cover that later. And then lastly, you're going to edit it. So that's part of the post-production process, where you're going to take all of what you just collected from your content, doing the introduction and having your call to action, putting it all together and being sure to have it in this precise order so that you can really benefit and optimize your videos. Oh, and lastly, of course, uploading it. That's very key, right? I mean, what's the point of actually having a video and then you don't want to share it or upload it? So, of course, lastly, you want to upload your videos to YouTube. But we're going to go through that whole process later on in the webinar. So be rest assured that that will all be covered for you. We won't leave you hanging. We promise.
Okay, so now let's talk about YouTube setup. We've talked about the whole filming your video, shooting it, and so we want to make sure that the YouTube channel is set up properly. So there's a couple things that you can do in order to set up your YouTube channel. And the first things first is to have some good channel art. I've been to so many YouTube channels, and it's funny, I've been to some really popular YouTube channels, and I'm always surprised if they don't have channel art, because this is just something that really makes you stand out in the YouTube space. So you want to have some channel art. Next, you also want to have custom links set up. So you can have your Facebook link, your Google Plus link, you can have your website link, all show up right there at the top of your YouTube channel. So you want to go ahead and set those up so that people know how to find you everywhere else online. Then complete your about section. And this is important because people might want to know more about you, but also it helps you with Google. If you're describing your channel appropriately and you've got good descriptive keywords in your about, not necessarily coming off as too keywordy, but having a few of them in there, then Google and YouTube are more likely to rank you with what people are searching for. It makes it more relevant, and it's a good about section where people can find out more about you. Next, have a profile photo, and you specifically set this up now in Google Plus. Have a nice, good, engaging photo, something that, you know, shows people who you are. A lot of brands will have just their logo show up there, but if you're going to have like a personal channel, then you'd want your face, obviously. So that's really up to what you're going for there. And then, of course, have a trailer. And if you haven't really filmed any videos yet, then you're not going to have something you can use as a trailer. But the trailer is nice because that's the first video that shows up to a person who has not yet subscribed to your channel. They're brand new and you're hoping to get them subscribed. The trailer shows up. So for instance, on our DIY mobile video channel, we have our teaser trailer that kind of shows everything we've been doing behind the scenes to work on this training material for you guys. And it's just kind of exciting and peppy and happy, and people are like, oh, I want to subscribe after watching that. So something that really gets people excited. And of course, you can just put whatever there. Maybe your most popular video you could put there, or you can make a video specifically just for that. On my Natural Thrifty channel, where I do lots of health and wellness stuff, I actually have like a welcome video where I say, hey, I'm Crystal Collins, this is the channel and on this channel I do crazy funky health nut stuff, and if you guys have something you want me to try on video, leave it in the comments and you might see it in a video. So that's basically an introduction. I show my peppy self, and then I kind of ask for them to participate by giving me ideas for upcoming episodes. So that is the trailer for your channel that you want to definitely set up as soon as you can. And then have custom sections below. And we talked about this last week. We actually sent out a couple videos so you guys can go back and watch them on our channel, but how to set up the custom sections below your trailer so that people can see your liked videos, people can see your most recent uploads. Maybe you have other channels that you're subscribed to and you want to feature them there. There's all kinds of different things that you can feature, and it just makes your channel more engaging and more appealing to look at.
So next we're going to talk about more of branding aspects. So when it comes to creating your videos, you definitely want to use as much of branding as possible, because especially if your content's really good, you want people to recognize you for who you are. So in our previous webinar, we mentioned some brief things about having a watermark in your logo and overlaying, things like that. Well, YouTube decided to make this really easy for you. Instead of having to deal with that in your personal post-production editing software, they provided a few options that will help you do that without having to worry about it in your editing process. So the first one we're going to talk about is inVideo programming, and that allows you to basically it allows you to kind of automatically create your YouTube channel as a television kind of network, because a logo will display as an overlay on any of your videos. So you can actually have a specific logo. I've seen some people actually have like a subscribe button, make sure that there's a link that's behind it so that people can automatically subscribe. You know, those are different things that you can do in regards to the inVideo program. So I kind of covered that with the watermarks. And then also, as you can see, you can have an actual feature video. So you can have a feature video where you have that as appearing the first thing that people see when they land on your YouTube channel. And then you can also have a branding intro. So a lot of people, you know, you'll be surprised. Now you can actually create like a 3-second intro or so that you can automatically just add, and it can automatically add to the previous videos that you've already made. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah. So those are like the 3 major ways on how you can brand your videos through YouTube. YouTube is doing a really good job because they really want people to utilize their platform, right? And they're realizing that, especially there's a lot of people, especially those who are building their brands and getting a lot of subscribers. And, you know, overall, YouTube is an actual community where people are actually interacting. It's actually considered a social media community, just like Facebook and anything else. So they're really trying to help build this community of people. And of course, in order to do that, it's, you know, trying to figure out ways on how they can help the, you know, community users on how they can brand themselves and really utilize their platform.
I just wanted to add one more thing to that. For the featured video, you can actually feature any video of your choosing from your channel in all your other videos. So for example, if I have one video that's just like, I know it's making me a lot of money through the Google ads, or I know that it's one of my most popular ones that gets me more subscribers, I can feature that video, and when people are watching other videos, a little pop-up will show up on the screen, and then it'll say Crystal recommends such and such, and then people can click and watch that next video. So that's a really nice thing. Or you can just feature your latest upload on all of your videos. So anytime you upload a new video, that one will be featured in all of your previous videos. And then for the branding intro, this is just a 3-second intro that you can include on all your videos. You can add it here, and it'll go to all of your previous and future videos. It'll automatically upload. And we actually create branding intros for people. So if you guys need a branding intro created, we can create this for you and upload it for you, so you don't have to do it. But this is really cool because it automatically uploads to every single video. You don't have to do any extra work, and it makes it look really professional, makes you really stand out on YouTube. Somebody asked, can you handle animations for the intro? Sorry, I hope I didn't repeat all that. So, can you handle animations for the intros? Yes, we can handle animations for the intros. We've actually done this for a couple of bloggers that they love their videos now, but yeah, we can do that for you. Okay, so specifically for channel art, I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, I can't do any kind of graphic work. We're going to just show you just 2 examples of how you can do it yourself. Swiftly.com/templates. You can create your own right there. They have some templates for you. So this goes for the art at the above of your channel. So if you don't feel like you're, you know, artsy or whatever, and you don't want to pay someone to do it, you can go here and you can create one. Or you can also go to picmonkey.com.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, I just want to let you guys know, with Swiftly, what they do is they can actually give you the PNG, like they have certain designs based on certain modes or themes. So they'll give you a PNG file or the actual PSD source file, which is awesome of them. So for those of you who are familiar with Photoshop and things like that, you can actually manipulate the things and add your own things on top of it. And the fastest way to do that is you can see in that screen where it says browse categories, just click on the drop down and be sure to click on YouTube, and that's how you can easily just jump into the free templates that they have.
And then PicMonkey is another one, and for the size, you want to do a custom size of 2560 by 1440, and then you can just design it however you want. And a lot of you can just know how to use PicMonkey, so that's just the size you need. Go in there, create your nice little branding intro. You could have it up like by the, by tonight after the webinar is over. You could probably do it in about 5 minutes. So get yourself something nice up on your channel art. That's the challenge for the webinar is after this is over, go upload some art you made.
And just to give you guys some ideas, what I've seen a lot of popular bloggers do, they'll even kind of just treat it like how you would do like your Facebook fan page headers or even your blog. Like some of the popular bloggers I've seen actually change their channel art with the seasons. So they'll have like different things of them like showing up, and then it's like, because it's fall or Halloween or holidays or things like that. Those are just some ideas that you can think about. Don't make it something that's really daunting. Just make it very simple where you have your face, or like Crystal stated before, having your face on there if it's someone that if it's a type of channel where it's personable and it's showcasing you, and just have like a graphic or so about encouraging them to subscribe to your YouTube channel, or like Crystal stated before, you can create channel links and things like that, having like arrows and graphics like pointing towards that lower right hand corner. Those are just different ideas just to kind of get the juices flowing as far as creating different types of channel art.
And for ours, we just have our URL in the channel art. We just have our little logo. That's all we have up there. I mean, it's nothing fancy. And then for Mo Chris TV, we obviously have something a little more intricately done. But you can just be simple with it. You can get fancy with it if you want. The point would be just to get something up there so that it's not looking so sparse around there on YouTube. Can hear my...
All right, so we're going to actually kick off the process of uploading videos to your YouTube channel. So this is after the fact that you've edited, you're ready to publish, and you're good to go. So the first suggestion that we have is when you're uploading your videos, when you go into YouTube, upload will be in the upper kind of right-hand middle corner of your screen. When you click on this screen appears, and you have two choices. You can either literally just drag your files into the part where you see that gray arrow pop up. But we want to really encourage you all to make sure that you don't have it go public. You have it either unlisted or private. You want to do that because there's a few things that you want to do behind the scenes before you actually want to release it to the public. And so if you have it unlisted or private, at least that's only available to you at the moment, unless you want to share it with someone for feedback, things like that. You definitely want to have it on unlisted. Private is strictly for you, pretty much. Like there's some parameters where a private person can view it, but more likely you want to actually, my choice is to just put it on unlisted, because sometimes you want to have feedback, or something didn't come out right. You can actually send that individual link to that one person as opposed to having it released to the whole world.
Okay, and once you've got it uploaded, there are several things that you're going to do. And we have a checklist actually in a PDF that we created that you will reference, and you guys can go download and reference it later. But this is kind of the general of what you want to get done once you've uploaded. We're going to talk about thumbnails. We're going to talk about your titles. You want to have the tags. You want to have a description. You want to work on your annotations. You want to do all of that here before you're ready to hit publish.
So a lot of you all might be wondering, and people have asked us before, like, how can you link out of your YouTube videos? How can you do all this stuff? And the way that YouTube has it set up, it's called annotations. And you would see that when you go into your video manager and you're actually editing your videos. It'll be like in the tab section, they'll have like the part where you can do your keywords and your description, and then they have like a few other options, and then you'll see annotations. So you want to click on annotations, and there's several types that you can do. If you guys have seen the kind of labels that pop up, they're just like these generic looking rectangles. They could be of any color, and it's just encouraging people to, I don't know, like, or to do a call to action. That's called a label. One of the more important ones, especially if you want to link out to an external source or to another YouTube channel, you want to use the spotlight. And what that does is it allows you to create some sort of rectangle or square around whatever object that you see on your screen. So for instance, as you see on the screen, we are creating an annotation for subscribe. So as you can see, you can manipulate the size as to how big or small you want that spotlight to be. And of course, we're purposely putting it around the subscribe word. And as you look over to the right in the lower hand corner, you want to make sure you click on the link box. And you can see on the drop down box next to it, you have several options. You can do a channel, you can do a playlist, you can do an external website, different things like that. So for those of you who are just starting with YouTube, YouTube will allow you to link to other YouTube videos. As far as the external feature, as far as linking it out to external features, that includes some additional steps, which we can probably discuss later because we're discussing it in this webinar. But there's some things that you have to do on the back end from like coding perspective that Google gives you, and then you have to put it on the back end. But just so you know, at least initially when it comes to creating annotations, you can link to other videos. But as far as linking to external websites, it includes a few extra steps.
Megan says, yes, please, trying to figure it out.
Okay, well, I guess
we can follow up and we can make yeah, we'll send something out in email.
We'll do a screencast. It's not that hard.
Okay. So next we're going to talk about thumbnails, and a lot of people don't do thumbnails, and I'm always like, you should, because it makes such a difference. So here we have a simple search for the term Ebola or Ebola facts or something, and you can see the different videos that came up here. And just looking at this, which one are you guys more likely to click on? If you can just go ahead and drop that in the comments. Like, which one of these do you think you're more likely to click on? Second, Ebola facts. Yeah. It's definitely the top two. And these are the top two in the search because they have more views, they have more clicks, and honestly, they probably have more views and more clicks. One of the main reasons is the thumbnail. The first one is definitely eye-catching. It like catches you right away because it's bold. It's quite a contrast between the colors of the background, so it is more likely to click on. The second one is really good as well because it's kind of intriguing and you can tell that it's going to have some good and bold information. But the last two are just kind of like, well, I can't really tell necessarily what that's about. And people are so visual now that they're not necessarily even reading things anymore. They're just looking at the images and they're choosing whether or not to click on a video. So a good thumbnail is more likely to increase your views. So make it intriguing. Make sure the colors are really bright and make sure there's a high contrast. And it's funny to me because the second person, you can tell they put some work into that thumbnail. They really wanted to stand out. But the one that's a little bit more simpler at the top and has less words is the one that is getting in the front of the search engines. The second one has more views, and I think that's because it was uploaded 2 months ago. But the first one, which was uploaded a week ago, is probably going to catch up, and it's ranking #1 now for the search. So keeping it simple, keeping your words simple as well.
All right, so next we're going to talk about creating titles for your videos. With your titles, there's so many different theories about, using keywords, but I feel like people get caught up a lot in regards to keywords and end up making their titles very long. And then they're like, I don't understand why it's not ranking and all that good stuff. In regards to your titles, it's just like any other thing, especially for those of you who are bloggers. Like, you want to create unique headlines. And of course, if there is a keyword you're searching for, you want to include your keyword within your title. You want to make sure it's relevant to the content that you're sharing. You want to make it intriguing. You want it to be concise, not too lengthy, and of course, making it keyword rich. So recently, we had the opportunity to have a guest of ours, a friend of ours, Leslie Samuel from becomeablogger.com. And we were really trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to talk about? Like, what is something that people can relate to, something that's kind of like, not necessarily controversial, but just something that's, we just know will generate a lot of conversation. And then it just like hit us. We're like, can men and women be friends? Because, Leslie's married and both Crystal and I are single. So it's like, we're really good friends. And the fact that our relationship is strictly friendship and there's never been any sort of, anything else or any kind of tension or any kind of awkwardness, like, we asked, can men and women be friends? And the result, the fact that it was listed as a question, of course, that helped generate conversation. And I'm not saying that your title should be questioned, but we just felt like this was a great title to have, and a topic, of course, that would generate a lot of feedback, engagement, and all of that good stuff.
That was a funny episode, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about tags. Tags are important because they allow your video to show up on similar videos on YouTube, and that is something that YouTube does use and does look at. So you want to have about 5 to 7 tags, keywords that you're using in the tag section. 2 of them should be relevant to the content in the video. 2 to 3 of them should be relevant. So for example, we did an episode that's actually ranked extremely well, and we've got a lot of views on it. It's called Living in Atlanta, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Well, Living in Atlanta is getting a lot of search traffic because people, I guess, want to move here, so they're typing Living in Atlanta, what's the perks or whatever. What are the good things about it? So in our keywords, we've got ATL, Atlanta, but then we also have keywords that are relevant for our show topics, which we do a lot of racial stereotypes. And so we have brand keywords, 2 to 3 brand keywords that are good for your brand. So we've got our names in there. We've got we got Mokris in there, so that anytime another Mokris episode shows up, or an episode or something shows up on one of our other channels, this video is also going to show up as well. So that's why you want to have both relevant keywords to the topic that you're discussing, and then also keywords that are relevant to your brand, so that it shows up with the other videos as well that you do.
And I just wanted to add, so notice, guys, I'm sure you guys are noticing the pattern that we're really stressing as far as using keywords. And the reason why we're doing that is to help optimize and help you rank. One other thing that we didn't include in this presentation that I wanted to share with you all as a bonus tip is whatever keyword that you're using, or whatever your title of your video is going to be sure to save the actual video file that name. Believe it or not, I don't know what it is that Google or YouTube has in their algorithm, but they actually look at that. So for instance, Living in Atlanta, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the actual source file of when you're uploading your actual video file to your YouTube, you want to save it as that, or at least have the keywords that you have, that you want to rank for within that source file. I just wanted to share with you guys, a bonus tip for that. Okay, another great thing to do as far as SEO and ranking and all that good stuff is to actually invest the time in transcribing your videos. Now, we know that can be very long and tedious, especially if your videos are kind of on the longer end, but just in general, because, you might talk fast, or you tend to get a lot of information in within a short amount of time. It takes time to transcribe. So we recommend going to places like Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and just simply hiring someone to transcribe them for you. However, of course, that is really, really good for SEO, because YouTube's algorithm is going to read those transcriptions. And what you want to do when you are uploading transcriptions to your YouTube channel or your specific YouTube videos, it allows you to use their closed caption service, which is, having the words appear on the screen while the video is playing. So kind of like having the subtitles on, but of course that's up to the viewer, the user, to turn those on. So for transcribing, it's great for content creation. So what I love about video, or what you say vlogging, is the fact that you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can create your video, have your transcription transcribed, so that, nails the bird of not having to worry about writing a separate blog post, because it's already been done for you. Bits and pieces, create a summary of it, and boom, you have it embedded on your blog, and you have your transcription down below, which is AKA also your blog post. It also can be used for so many different things, as far as creating content for ebooks, creating content for articles, magazines, different things like that. So transcriptions is actually a really great way to create a lot of different types of content creation. And also, I've seen some people actually use that, or have said that they've used some of their transcriptions for their social media updates, like their status updates on their fan page and things like that. I've already covered better, of course it helps with better. And lastly, engagement. So, the fact that, closed captions is actually appearing on the screen and it's creating movement while someone's viewing. So it's been statistically shown that the mere fact that, you know, when a video is playing and there's more movement, a person is more likely to stay to see more of the video and to be more engaged. So that is our spiel. And of course, if you want to just do this yourself, that is totally fine. What I recommend is using your text editor program that automatically comes with either a PC or a Mac. But you want to make sure that you are saving it as a plain text file, because YouTube will not read it as anything else. There's so many different versions that you can, you know, save your notes in if you're using a text editor. But you want to make sure you're using a plain text file version, and that's why we created a screenshot of this so you guys can see what we're talking about. Oh, and lastly, of course, so the mere fact, I totally forgot about this, the mere fact that you can upload your transcriptions and it comes up as closed captions, and it helps expand your reach. So for one, for those out there who are deaf, they're able to still view your content because it's appearing on the screen, right? But more importantly is the fact that YouTube allows you to translate the transcription. So if someone in Germany is watching a video that we just created for MoChris, they're able to translate that transcription into their own language so that they can know what we're talking about. So I think that's really key, and that's a great way to really expand your reach, especially globally. So all that's really good because, of course, the more exposure, the more views, the more subscribes, all that great stuff will help you as far as YouTube loving you even more, Google loving you more, and lastly, you know, more people are just viewing and really loving your content.
We've had a couple of questions come in, and I just want to get some of these answered. So Megan asked, she said, curious regarding MoChris. You are both branding experts. Does creating a hybrid brand dilute or help your individual brands? And this is a very interesting question because there's multiple schools of thought on how this works. And so for example, one crowd will say, focus on one thing, focus on that one thing, and by the end of like a 4 or 5 year period, you're going to be successful. If you focus on one thing and you don't lose track by getting focused on other things. And then another school of thought as well, have multiple streams of income. So you can dilute your brand if you're not careful. However, it really depends on your end goals. So for me, my personal end goals are very different than a lot of other people's. And so one of my end goals is, I don't really share this a whole lot, but I do want to be more present as far as like acting and being on the stage. So while I am a health nut and I love helping people get healthy, doing more on YouTube not only helps Natural Thrifty and my health and wellness stuff, but then it also helps get me out there and I'm more comfortable on video. I've gotten a lot more exposure. People see that I'm doing video. And then doing MoChris was a natural extension of that for me. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Monique?
I agree with you. I also feel like in general, when it comes to YouTube, I feel that you should start with one channel first before thinking about starting additional channels. Don't try to start like a bunch of channels at one time. So for instance, like before Crystal and I did the MoChris, like we both each individually had our own channels for a while. And then, you know, we're doing MoChris for this year, and that's been a lot of focus. And if we were to start something else, I mean, at least we have like a whole lot of content, you know, already created in regards to, you know, so there's a lot of people who come to me and say, I'm thinking about doing, you know, one sort of thing, but I'm not sure because my blog, we cover different things. And a lot of times I just recommend with you starting with one and then actually customizing your channel where you're having various playlists, which also help with SEO ranking, by the way, and using keywords, is having different playlists that appear on your channel so that it will basically kind of create like a mini TV network for you on your YouTube channel because you're displaying the different types of things that you're creating. I feel that, you know, people can easily get caught up in the whole flashy syndrome. And it's like, oh, I want to create a YouTube channel for this and that and that. I mean, I know there's quite a lot of YouTube creators, the ones that are big time, who, you know, have multiple channels. But what they did was they created one, stuck with that one, got that successful, got that up to a certain point, and then decided to create another.
And an interesting example of this, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a very popular site known as BuzzFeed, but they are pretty much dominating YouTube now with videos because they're putting out like so many videos like every single week. And they have multiple channels. They have BuzzFeed Central, then they have a different YouTube channel for each of their actors.
Yellow, purple, blue.
Yeah, BuzzFeed
themes.
Yellow,
Yeah.
BuzzFeed Violet, BuzzFeed whatever. And the way that they have it all interconnected as far as like the liked videos, liking videos, and setting up playlists, they are just creating this powerhouse dominating YouTube because they've got all this amazing interconnecting web type thing that is so. They also have a full staff, somebody said. Yes, they do have a full staff, but it does work. So they haven't diluted their brand at all. They've actually just made it that much more dominating on YouTube. So they do have a full staff, yes. So don't let that discourage you. But that's just an example of how having multiple things doesn't necessarily dilute your brand. It actually helps it. So, and one more question we had, do you use a particular person on Fiverr to transcribe? Yes, I do recommend that you go to Fiverr and you find maybe like 3 to 5 people for transcriptions and just go ahead and purchase them. It's $5. Whoever does the best job, that's who you're going to use from now on. So that's a little, spend a couple $5 to find a good person, and then you use them for all your transcription from there on out. So, and then the checklist that we talked about, everything we talked about for as far as like what you're supposed to do when you're uploading, we have it at DIYmobilevideo.com/YouTube checklist. You guys can print it, download it, save it. It's a checklist for putting all of that in there. So I think we just had one more question come in, sorry. Okay, so Megan says, interesting. I was trying to figure out today if I should create a separate Google Plus page and YouTube channel for singing my instrumental music and storytelling. Has nothing to do with my job, business. My personal Google Plus profile is all day job business, but I haven't started creating content for it. Just added people to circles so I can lurk. It's time to make a decision on how to move forward. Yeah, that is very interesting. Like you can definitely do that if you want your own personal channel. And honestly, I think that people want to see the real you, especially if you're a blogger, you're in the public light, and you want, like, if you're a singer, if you play music, then people actually want to see that. It's interesting to me that I see a lot of YouTubers who are doing something very specific, but then they're also musicians. So then they'll start randomly throwing out their music and people eat it up. They love it because then it makes you more relatable. So I wouldn't necessarily stress too much about it.
All right, so we've gone through the whole, okay, you shot your videos, you've uploaded them to YouTube, but it doesn't stop there. There's a whole lot of work that you need to do afterwards. So that's how we're going to talk about sharing distribution. So I wanted to, so there's so many, these are the suggested ways that you see on the screen as far as creating videos. I wanted to kind of go through each briefly and give just like our personal thoughts. So for LinkedIn, for those of you who are not familiar with LinkedIn's kind of, it's not necessarily new now, but I guess you could say new feature for this year is the whole self-publishing platform. So they allow you to create kind of like blog articles that you can post on LinkedIn and develop a following on there. And, you know, if you have a YouTube channel and it's, you know, covering a certain topic, there's no shame in far as creating a self-published post on your LinkedIn profile. And what you do is possibly you can just show a little teaser, you know, create a summary, kind of break apart some of the video, kind of so that, you know, you tease that person, get them, you know, engrossed, and then make sure to push them to the actual YouTube video or the blog post that you actually embedded your video onto. So LinkedIn is they're really doing a lot of good things, and I really love how they're using this self-publishing platform. There's so many people out there, so many thought leaders and authoritative figures who are doing really well as far as exposure and building their brand by using the LinkedIn self-publishing platform. So of course, I highly suggest that you use that. And do that. Sorry. So next is Twitter. So making sure that, of course, you're tweeting it out. Have it on your fan page. You know, Facebook, unfortunately, is having a love and hate relationship with video. But it seems like at one point they're like, okay, we like YouTube, so we'll let it show up bigger on your timeline. Other times they're like, no, we're cutting back. So it seems like Facebook is not liking YouTube recently, and right now they're actually doing a lot of things on the back end to really make Facebook video, as far as uploading it directly, more, I guess, compatible for them. So of course they're going to start ranking Facebook video, Facebook videos higher. So what I suggest is that, kind of test and try it out, as far as, using your YouTube videos and sharing it on your fan page and your profile. But of course you have the source file, so upload it to Facebook if Facebook is one of like the main platforms that get you a lot of traffic and engagement. Next is, of course, sharing it with your email list. I'm sure all of you guys, and if you haven't already, please start building an email list. That is very, very key, because unfortunately, if things were to shut down as far as like YouTube or anything like that, like at least you have your email list and you can still, keep in touch with people. Of course, we shared this already about your blog. And you can also, the next three, I really, really like these platforms because they're very, very visual. Same with Facebook, of course, but Instagram and Pinterest. So in regards to Instagram, of course, you can do a bunch of things as far as sharing just the various thumbnails of your YouTube videos, or creating little mini video trailers that are 15 seconds long, and sharing them on Instagram. Lastly, for Pinterest, you can actually share actual YouTube videos on Pinterest. They announced that like a few years ago. And then for Google Plus, of course, Google owns Google Plus, and Google Plus is intertwined with YouTube. They definitely love YouTube, so they make it very easy for you to share it. But what we want to share with you guys is a unique way of actually branding your videos and kind of showcasing like your stuff in your YouTube trailers, is creating like these mini trailers that we've done for the Mocha Show, and it's called creating video collages, and this is what it looks like.
I think it's kind of on a delay and I didn't hear any sound, but you guys get kind of the idea the way it looks.
Right, so with the video collage, as you can see, you have still pictures and a video playing, and it automatically will start playing. So we just want to share with you that is a very unique way to captivate people's attention. It's kind of playing into the idea of, creating collages on Pinterest. So the app that you can use, in which thankfully it is universal to both iOS and Android devices, is called, there's two. One is called Vid Stitch, V-I-D Stitch, all one word. That's my most favorite. There's so many different things. There's so many different layouts you can do. It's amazing. I love it. It's awesome. You can even control the amount of thickness between the separations, and you can, what I've seen is this type of thing is actually very popular among the fitness crowd, because there'll be fitness experts who will show different workouts. And then what they'll do is have it happen simultaneously. So if it's one is like a sit-up, then as soon as that sit-up video is done, then the push-up one automatically starts, and
those are
ba-doom,
cool.
ba-doom, ba-doom. So you can
cool.
actually do that within the Vid Stitch app. And I believe they have a light version, but I'd say scratch the light version.
Yeah, because they brand
just
it.
go to the pro.
Yeah.
Right. And then next is the Pick Play Post. That's P-I-C Play, P-L-A-Y, all one word. That's another type of app to do the same exact things. I just feel like VidStitch kind of gives you more flexibility in some ways, and honestly, it's a better UX in my opinion. But Pick Play Post is a different one, and they're both compatible with iOS and Android, and they have a free version as well. But like I said, go with the pro. You don't want other people's watermark and branding on it. So that's just kind of a quick tip as far as like creating video collages. You can actually, so what's so awesome about this is the fact that when it's done created, like it's strictly a video file. So this can literally be shared on anything. This can be shared on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, embedded anywhere, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+. The thing is, I use it primarily for Instagram videos, because the videos are 50 long and those kind of give you like trailers and things like that. But I'm to anyone, I can make them even longer than 50 seconds. Yeah, that's the thing. There's unlimited amount of time that you can create, so you're not limited as how long these videos or collages can be. So hopefully that was like a good tidbit. And it's all about, as far as like branding and as far as like content that you're sharing, it's all about making it visual. And I feel like this is a great way to visually appeal people to your content. And like you said here, like if you were to see this, just playing and just seeing like how we use the thumbnail of our video and then just thanking Fig and Flower because it was a media event that we went to, that's really appealing.
So next, what you want to do is really engage with your people on YouTube, outside of YouTube. Engagement is so important. And this we're talking about now. We're talking about expanding your YouTube presence, growing your audience, growing your channel, increasing your views. Engagement is key. You learned about this when you guys started blogging, like respond to your comments. Make sure that you are leaving comments on other people's blogs. Make sure you have kind of a network of bloggers that you're growing. So the same applies to YouTube. Connect with other YouTubers, especially if they're in your niche or they're semi-related to what you're doing. Leave comments on their videos and really engage with them and kind of build those friendships and build yourself a little network going on YouTube. It's kind of the same thing that you guys do now with blogging. And then next, make sure you're also pressing the thumbs up. And the cool thing about pressing the thumbs up is if you've set it up on your channel so that your liked videos show up on your channel, then every time you hit thumbs up on a video, that's showing up on your channel. So that's a great way to promote other YouTubers and to get them wanting to promote you as well. So it's kind of a nice feature. I really like it. And then make sure you're responding to your commenters. So this was on a video that we did. We got a lot of comments, a lot of engagement on it, and we could have just left it. But we didn't do that. We responded to the comments. We're engaging with people. And the nice thing about that is when people come and they see that we're engaging, they see that we're not just like throwing up a video and then checking out. They want to engage more and they want to leave more comments. And then, of course, be sure to ask for likes, subscribes, and shares within your videos. And this is just another way to get your people to engage with you. And also connect your account to Twitter. Make sure you're tweeting out your videos. And also, when you publish a video, you can actually push it to Google Plus as well. So push it to Google Plus, push it to Twitter, and engage with people there when they ask you questions or they share something or comments or questions with your hashtag if you have one.
And then also the main fact that we want you to connect your account to Twitter is the fact that people can automatically start tweeting your video, or if they liked something, and it automatically pushes out to Twitter. So as a result, that hits you up and that allows you to start retweeting their tweets, or at least thanking them publicly out on Twitter, saying thank you for liking my video or thank you for sharing, so that makes that person feel more special and have like that celebrity status, saying, oh wow, they're really paying attention to what I'm doing. So that of course encourages them to come back to view more of your content.
Marge had a question about the apps. She said, so if you use one of those apps to put your videos on, like Instagram, is it make it so you can put a long video on there? No, you still are limited to 15 seconds. So you use those apps to kind of stitch the different videos and graphics together, but you still are limited to the 15 seconds.
Right, but for any other platform, it can be at any length, except for Instagram. So please excuse our typo, but the next slide is about consistency.
Just got cut off because of the
and
gravity.
so, yeah. So in regards to video, in regards to YouTube, just in general, in order to be successful, it's all about consistency. So we've already talked about, scheduling out your videos, and it's really, really important that you keep a schedule. The reason why you want to keep a schedule is the fact that you want to start developing an expectation for your audience. So if you know that you're going to be posting a video every week, at least once a week, your audience is going to start expecting it. And if you miss it, like some of them might actually call you out on it. So it kind of holds that accountability for you. In addition, like what I've seen people do actually in their channel trailers that we mentioned earlier, they will verbally say, okay, expect to see videos from me on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or on so-and-so days, or whatever. That is really, really important because YouTube likes to see consistency. So does Google. So if they see that you're consistently creating good content, they're going to rank you higher. And I just wanted to kind of put in there that, everyone's concerned about the amount of views. Well, in this day and age, and especially lately, because, I'm a video geek, so I'm constantly researching. YouTube now is not really considering views as one of the major proponents of ranking your video. What they're looking at is seeing how long someone is staying to watch your video. So that's how you know that content is still king, and it's very important to create great videos. And so if you're consistent and Google, or I'm sorry, YouTube is seeing that people are staying longer for your videos, you're more likely to get ranked higher. So as a result, sometimes that's why you'll see certain videos where they were made a long time ago or they're earlier and they have views, and some videos that have like a million views. And it's because their algorithm is now switched over to the amount of time people are looking at your videos. I kind of went on a tangent on that, and I apologize, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then of course, we recommend to help you stick to your schedule is to batch your videos. And what we mean by that is pick a day, primarily your weekend, or if it's during the week, if you have kids on the weekend, so you have to deal with that. But when they're at school or whatever, decide to create 3 to 5 videos in a day, guys. Plan them out, do all it is that you want to do, previous days, of course, and then on that day, boom, just start batching them and record them in one day. Then schedule another day to edit them, or edit them in the same day. Depends on how much you have to clean up in the post-production. But once you do that, like, you're done. You don't have to worry about it for the next 3, especially if you're doing it weekly, for the next 3 to 5 weeks, because you created 3 to 5 videos, and it gives you time to brush them up, to get them optimized, making sure you're doing everything right. So batch recording is like the best thing you can do in regards to keeping a schedule, being consistent, and that's how we started off the Mo Chris show. We decided that we kind of played around with it. Excuse me. Well, initially we kind of started off with just doing every day for a week, for 2 weeks, like 5 videos in a day, and that's when we decided to batch. Like, Crystal actually came up with this idea where we did the draw out the hat. So we created a bunch of topics together, threw them in a hat, and whatever we drew out, that's what we were going to talk about. So you don't have to worry about, what am I going to talk about next? That gets that all the way. And I mean, it was great that, we had it done. We kind of had like this content calendar created for us, so we don't have to worry about anything else. So consistency is very key. Make sure you're keeping a schedule. And more importantly, we feel that the best way to keep a schedule is to batch record and group your videos into one day.
So as a recap, this is what we covered tonight. I just want to briefly go back over everything. So we talked about video creation, the whole process of, pre-production, post-production, what you do after you're done doing that, you edit, and then you put it up on YouTube. And then next we talked about your whole account setup. Like, what do you do for the whole cover photo? Like, what do you do as far as adding your links, channel art, linking to other videos, featuring other things, in-video programming, all that stuff. And then we talked about uploading and publishing, and this was specifically, what do you do with your video once you've put it up? How do you do the thumbnails? How do you do the tags and the titles, and then the annotations? And then when is it good a time to publish it? And then after publishing, really engaging with people and sending it out on social channels, putting it on your blog, getting people over to it so that they can see it, and really trying to build up your audience. And then, of course, keeping that schedule and staying consistent with everything that you're doing. So that's kind of just a brief recap of everything that we've covered. If you guys have any questions right now that you can think of, go ahead and shoot them in there. I was trying to get all of them as they were coming in. But yeah, so next we are going to talk about the winner of the challenge and our next upcoming challenge that we have going on.
All right, so thank you so much for those of you who participated in our October challenge. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we try to have a monthly challenge, and the first challenge was to create a video with pumpkins. It could be just the pumpkin appearing in your video. You don't necessarily have to do anything with it specifically, but we figured that would be a great way to get people started and to motivate them. So we are really, really thankful that quite a few participated. So hats off to you all that participated. We're really, really excited that you guys did. Yeah. And as stated before, if you submit a video and you did not attend the Type A Parent Conference where we launched this, you will also get a free version of the product that we will be releasing very soon. So the winner, give us a drum roll, Crystal.
I'm not very good at drum rolls.
I see that.
Yes, meet Penny.
Penny.
That is the name of her YouTube channel, and she sent in a video where the the puking pumpkin, how to make a puking pumpkin. She did great keywords. She had great video content. The way she filmed it was fantastic. I mean, she was definitely, I could tell that she was putting to use like a lot of the stuff that we have been teaching. So really excited. She did a great job.
Okay, and so congratulations, and of course, you know, we suggest that you all, of course, check out her video so that you guys can see why we necessarily chose that person. I know her husband helped her as far as like the editing.
We did a great job.
What I really loved about it was the different camera angles, the way they told the story. It was just really, really, really awesome. So definitely check them out. It was posted in our Facebook group, so go over there to do that.
Tabitha is the one that's her channel, Tabitha. So we posted it in the group, so you guys should definitely go back and watch it. And we're actually going to feature all of the videos that participated. We're going to send out a link tomorrow with featuring all the videos. And it was really hard to choose. Actually, Laurel Harders, you did a really good job. You were actually our runner-up. You were so close. You were really good, too. That was a great one. And, of course, Peter was just hysterical. His video, I pretty much like died laughing. It was so funny. So everybody did a great job. Hats off to you guys. So okay, our November challenge. You ready? Talk about our November challenge.
Oh, so for our November challenge, which will be due on November 15th, it's to film a video with a family friend or a friend or a family member. So, you know, to kind of talk about, because Thanksgiving starts next month, but of course, you know, it's really good to include your family, especially if you're a blogger, so it allows people to be more personable, to see, you know, who it is with your family and how they help you with your business, especially. So for your November challenge, that is to film a video with a family member or friend, and that is actually due on November 15th. Be sure to not only post it in the Facebook group, but more importantly, send it to us via email at videos, plural, at DIYmobilevideo.com.
And what is the winner of the November challenge get?
Oh, yes. The winner of the November challenge, of course, gets a 30-minute one-on-one session with us. And so good luck to those of you who submit. Be sure to participate. And of course, if you do participate, once again, you will get a free version of our product that we will be releasing very, very soon.
And of course, you guys can be as creative with this as you want to be. Like, obviously, you're not limited to talking about family or friendship or anything. It's just to film whatever you're doing with a family member or a friend. So, be creative.
Oh, so yes, as stated before, be sure to submit it at videos@DIYmobilevideo.com. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, this is your opportunity to submit them if we did answer them already. Hopefully you all learned a lot from this webinar. And yeah, are there any questions, Crystal, that are coming in?
I know one girl, I don't think I answered her question. Megan was asking about should she cross-link or just have her extra music stuff on her channel. I mean, honestly, I think, Megan, that's up to you. I don't really know that there's a right or wrong answer for that at this point. I mean, you could test it and see. Like, on my Natural Thrifty channel, we put up, like, a dancing video, but it did get a lot of engagement, and people loved it because they saw another side to me. So, I mean, I don't know that it could really hurt anything at this point. Just kind of give it a try and maybe get some feedback from a couple of other people and see what they might think specifically for your brand, and then I guess just make a decision based on that. Okay. So no other questions. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to be having another webinar. We'll announce it soon. We'll have one next month, but I'm looking forward to seeing all of your videos for next month's challenge. You guys, thanks so much for joining us, and hope you have an awesome, awesome night.